Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Analogue hate story. We have more documents to read. And block 7, yes. It's a block that I decrypted earlier and yeah. The nightmarish explains why he didn't appear before. So, Hyo Min-young. It seems that every year I spend visiting my parents, everything has gone to hell in my husband's family without his knowing. Clearly, I never should have left. He has an idea, but he doesn't understand just how bad things have gotten. When I left, it all seemed under control. The pale bride would be of the right age to be married to the emperor soon enough, and we'd be able to use that connection to bring favour to the family. A good plan. Except, it turns out, the pale bride is not even close to ready for marriage. Age has nothing to do with it. It's the maturity that she lacks. When she first awoke, right before I left, she seemed a little confused, but that was hardly unexpected. She had a whole new family to get accustomed to, and it seemed obvious enough that anyone born so far in the past would have some difficulty adjusting to modern life. But this is far beyond that. There is something simply wrong with that child. When I got back, the first thing Young Suk's wife did was tell me how sorry she was for not being able to control the child. I rolled my eyes, as if a grown woman couldn't handle someone of her age. "How are you going to raise my grandson like that?" I asked. She was quiet, and let me see the pale bride for myself. The first time I saw Young Suk try and get her to do something as simple as sort out his laundry, she wasn't just disobedient, she was openly defiant. When I stepped in to admonish her, it had absolutely no effect at all. All she did was argue back at me. I tried every approach I could think of, appealing to filiality, explaining how God damn it, don't accidentally right click. Explaining how important a virtue obedience was, even trying to appeal to sentimentality. Everything. She just kept saying the same thing, that it wasn't fair to make her do it. Here's the obvious concern, and it's what I said to her. Are you going to tell your husband he's not being fair when he wants something from you? I thought that would put some sense into her, but no, she just answered yes. There's no way this unruly child could possibly be marriageable. Not like this. She'd be sent back within a day. And with good reason. What man could possibly want a nightmare like her in his life? Maybe someone who likes a girl with her own mind. Mother, huh? I don't really know what to say about her even now. It's the first time I've read what she wrote and it's just, well, there's more. Here, read them for yourself. I will read them for myself. Mother. Oh, this is by her. Dear Diary, the good news is, health-wise, I seem to be doing much better this month. I'm sure this isn't a permanent thing. It's happened before. I can't really remember how the doctor from the past explained it anymore, but he said it was pretty normal and not something to get my hopes up about. Still, some days this month, I actually had enough energy to want to move around. Not that I could move around, of course. I can't leave the house. A good girl shouldn't, is what everyone keeps saying, but I have the energy to at least, and that's something. The big news is that the woman who's supposed to be my adopted mother came back. I didn't really see her much before she left. I might as well have been meeting a new person. I wish I could say I had high hopes for her, that I had thought she would be fine. That'd be a lie. I knew she'd be as bad as the rest the moment I saw her, and of course she was. She was even worse than sister-in-law. She gives me these awful lectures. I can't even describe them. They're that horrible. She's that horrible. Well, you're not fitting into their cultural norms, so therefore you must be wrong. If you're so worried, why don't you just explain everything to her simply and rationally, Young Suk asked me. My response was obvious. She's a woman. We're not that particularly rational, he said. You know what I mean. I could hardly do it, but coming from a woman, perhaps she would understand it, that it's all for her own good. Maybe, I said, doubting it. But I tried anyway. She took her time arriving after I summoned her to my room. Can we speak? I asked her, trying to keep my voice calm. She glared, then snapped. Fine. I asked her to sit down, but she refused, so she wasn't always mute. Look, I said, trying to speak to her as an equal. I still didn't think my husband was right, but it was worth trying. I've been told you'd rather be called Hyun I. Is that right? She said. She said yes, bitterly, not giving me as much to go off. That's a very pretty name, I said. Thanks, she said, but her voice was still unfriendly. My parents gave it to me. I said, you must miss them very much. She nodded. I don't understand, Hyun I. Were you so difficult with them too? No, she said. They were nice. They actually cared about me. They're nothing like you people. I sighed. I care about you, Hyun I. You're part of the family. You're a Kim. Your parents are our ancestors, and I know they think it's very important that you were raised right. If you want to be bad, unfilial daughter and treat us without respect, well, you wouldn't be the first. Do you really think that an old woman like me cares that much about your opinion of me? I thought maybe I'd try appealing to her selfishness. Marriage is important to the family, but she clearly doesn't care about filiality. It's you I'm worried about. Do you think any husband is really going to put up with the way you are, even for a second? She kept glaring at me. That's all you keep talking about. Marriage, marriage, marriage. I'm 14 and 14 years old. What is wrong with you? Why does everything have to be about some man? Why do I have to marry someone that you picked? She screamed at me. I remained calm. You're going to be a royal concubine here now. I'm not dumping you off on just anyone. There's no better man. I don't know if you were already engaged in the past, but your parents would do the same if they could. It's what's best for you. They would want this. No, they wouldn't, she shrieked. They wanted me to grow up. They wanted me to be an independent woman. That's what Mum and Dad thought was important. I didn't want to be a concubine. I don't care about marriage. An independent woman. They wanted you to be a whore. I asked. My patience ran as thin as anyone's would be. I didn't believe for a second my husband's ancestors were these monsters she was making them out to be. And I was sick of this. Get out. I snapped at her. Just get out. She really didn't understand. Because you want to see more from her? Yes. Oh, well, in that case, there's nothing I can do. Did I pick the wrong thing to ask you then? Apparently I did, because you still got something to say. I was young at the time, I really was. That's how it went. She was cruel, that's all there is to know. Right, so I can't ask you the question again. The new anxiety. Dearest mother, my mother-in-law has relieved me of any responsibility for looking after the pale bride. As a matter of pride, I feel bad that a simple child is too much for me to handle. But I'm certain glad she's not my problem anymore. Now I can put my undivided attention back to where it belongs, onto my husband and his ambitions. Tell me though, mother, because I know we didn't always get along that well. I was never that bad, was I? Sure, we were both happy when I moved out. Well, perhaps I wasn't happy right away, I was more scared. But I'm sure you were relieved to have some space. But you would never have given up on me, right? I was never that bad, was I? Deep down I worry. My husband seems content to take his time to have children, which is a decision I can certainly live with, but what about when we do? What if we have a daughter? Will I fail with her too? I've been telling myself that it's not me, it's her. She's a particularly unruly child, and it's not ordinarily that bad. It's not, right? Please tell me I have nothing to worry about. Please. You know, I never did like her. When I woke up, she was just this awful person who kept saying the most awful things. Never as bad as Mother, but still. I didn't read any of her letters when I was alive, of course, but you know what really surprised me? She made such an awful impression on my life. I hated her the most for so long, and she barely even mentioned me. All my suffering was just a minor distraction to her, nothing more, insignificant compared to her man. There's one more thing from her that you should read. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about her. There's just one thing I keep thinking, though. Just one thing. I have no idea what her name was. That's sad, actually. My last stand. Dear Diary, everything managed to spiral out of control so quickly today. I wasn't planning on it happening this way, but it is the point where I make my stand, I guess. It sounds dramatic, but I won't just let them marry me off to some stranger. I won't let them. Just before dinner yesterday, Mother told me that I had to go do an interview with some man. The Emperor, I guess. For all I care, that's the way she put I'd get a chance to see he's a man that you can fall in love with, or something stupid like that. As if, I said in response. And I spent the rest of the evening thinking about what I could do to possibly make it clear I wouldn't let them do this. This morning, after breakfast, sister-in-law showed up in my room. Good morning, she said. Today's a big day for you, isn't it? Mother-in-law wanted me to help you get dressed and all made up. You'll want to make a good first impression after all. I glared at her and summed up all my courage. No, I said. What? She asked. No, I'm not going. She left, Mother came in. That was it. I told myself, this is a big moment. I'm not going, I said, before she could say anything. And I'm not going to get dressed up. I'm not going to meet him, and I'm definitely not going to get married, I shouted. For a moment, she said nothing and didn't move. And then she left too without saying a word. I thought that it would feel good, but it didn't. It just made me worry more. I couldn't possibly have won that easily, I thought. And I hadn't, of course. A few minutes, she returned my father, who looked incredibly angry. Min Young says you're refusing to get ready for your interview, he said. Yeah, I stammered, not used to talking to him. I won't go, and I won't get married. He walked over and just teased his eyes and glared at me for a second. I had no idea what he was going to do. Then he slapped me in the face so hard he knocked me over. Yes, you will, he said. I'll drag you there, kicking and screaming if I have to. My face was in so much pain I forced myself to sit back up. I won't, I said, bracing myself for if he hit me again. He did. Yes, you will, he said. I couldn't keep this up. It already hurt so much. I couldn't just be brave like that. Then it came to me. If you make me do the interview, I said, I'll tell the Emperor that you've been conspiring behind his back. It was all I could think of. And it was all I could do to cross my fingers and hope that the threat worked. I had to. He glared at me, and in that moment, I knew. It worked. The two of them looked at each other, then they left together. That was 3 hours ago. I don't know what's going to happen now. I think my face is swollen. It still hurts. I don't want to go that way. So, that's me making my stand. I'm scared about what's going to happen because of that. I'll get to that, but for now, please just look at everything else first. They cut out your tongue, didn't they? Drastic measures. The pale bride person picked the worst of all possible days to throw another childish fits, refusing to even get dressed for her interview. And the one with the Emperor himself, not even my husband was able to get to listen. He had to personally apologise himself for not being able to bring her as scheduled and lied about a sudden illness. You have to do something about her, I said to my husband that evening. She's completely out of control. I know, he said, that is quite clear. He looked so worried. I hugged him, tried to comfort him. Everything would fall apart if something couldn't be done. She threatened to say something stupid and dangerous to the Emperor, and we were both scared that she might. Maybe it's time to consider doing something drastic, I said to him, and he nodded. I know, he said. I can only think of one idea. I do not like it. I'd rather not. Even hitting her was far worse than I would have wanted. Oh, that's actually quite nice, but he's still willing to do it, which is bad. I mean, what I mean is that's quite nice for what I believe the cultural norms to have been, which have been like, it's perfectly acceptable to slap your wife around, beat her and punish her in whatever way you see fit. But he doesn't want to, so that's the important thing. Please don't actually hit anyone, ever, please. He explained his idea to me and I agreed that it was terrible, and I didn't like it either. But it would stop her from arguing, stop her from ruining her own life. My husband was, as always, right. There was only one way. Okay, she's got nothing to say to that. That's that skipped. Recently, the Pale Bride's temperament has improved immensely. It isn't simply that she's now quiet, it's that she's actually respectful and calmer. After rescheduling, she had an interview with the Emperor, and he was actually quite charmed with her. I'm so happy, for her own sake, that she's finally stopped resisting the marriage. It's all coming together now. A date's been set for when she's set to live with him, and meanwhile, things at home have been peaceful again for everyone. Actually, it's better than just that. I've been spending more time with her, of her own free will. I've been giving her advice coming with marriage, now the girl actually listens politely. Otherwise, there is little else to write about. I wish there had been a better way to get her to behave, but in the end, it seems to be working out. I can't imagine how awful it would be if she'd refused to ever leave the home and simply made life hell for us, or worse. If she got sent off and tried to pull any of that on her husband, she'd get sent back for sure. Maybe now things will finally start coming together for the family. I must admit, for a time, I doubted the optimism that young Sue had expressed on the 2 years ago. But now it seems that he was right all along. What a relief. Of her own free will. I can't believe she actually said that. It's wrong, completely wrong. I can't believe she'd possibly thought that. Just unbelievable. You were scared, weren't you? That doesn't mean it's free will. It means you're scared. The new promise. A young Sook's wife. Dearest mother, today the Pale Bride finally left home to live with her new husband. As she wasn't a primary wife, there's no fanfare or ceremony for her departure itself, so instead last night we had a special big feast to commemorate. Okay, I guess I'll save. No, let's save in this one. Considering I accidentally right-clicked again. I know I have said bad things about her before, but it's not that I was simply happy to see her gone. She's been better since mother and father-in-law managed to keep her quiet. The thought of it still leaves me really uncomfortable. She was always just a confused child. I hate the fact that my family considers her so important and neglects my husband. I certainly hate her for not appreciating that status and fighting it. But the fact that she doesn't understand the world, I can feel for that. It's not like I always understand myself. Regardless, it went very well. The big feast was my idea and she was happy to help with the cooking. Earlier, she'd spent the afternoon getting ready the dress that she was going to wear when she arrived with mother-in-law, and she seemed rather anxious about it. While we cooked, I opened the wine early and poured it for her. I think she needed it. I told her the same story I told you a while ago. about how scared I was when I first moved in. It seemed as though it was a lifetime ago, and yet, despite all the strangeness, I'd grown so accustomed to it. You'll eventually grow to love him, I promised her, just as you promised me all those years ago. Appreciate how good you'll have it. Okay, she's got nothing to say there either. So, can I speak to you? You've read almost everything now. I know you've had faith in me, and I promise that's something misplaced. There's just one more thing. I don't think you'll be surprised. You seem smart, I'm sure. I'm sure you've already guessed what it is. Still, go ahead. Ask it. Ask me the obvious question. I don't want to ask that. What I want to do is find out what this is. What this is. Did I miss anything I didn't show you? Did I? Oh. Oh. Right. You know what? I am going to have to save again before I do this. Because I'm scared about what it'll do. Whew. Question 9. Why did you kill all those people? Why did I kill them? Here. You wanna know what could make me look at my father's face and be filled with so much hatred? You wanna know how I could possibly think my whole family deserved to die? If you haven't already guessed, here's my last diary entry. I can't say it myself. I can't bring myself to even now. Please, just read it. I'm sorry I had to ask that, but you asked me to ask it. And let's see if I can find it first. Here we go. Forever silenced. Dear Diary, the evenings where everything went wrong, where I thought I was going to win with my adopted parents. Well, I didn't. I lost. Making my stand, I wrote just hours before it happened. Yeah, right. When I got called into the kitchen, they were both there. On one of the stove burners, there was a knife. I thought it was a bit odd, but I didn't care. Father stared at me and said, "The fighting is to end now." He was so sure of himself. Of course he was. He had every reason to be. But suddenly, I stood my ground. I said no. I don't want to hurt you, he lied. Just promise to be less argumentative and this can end peacefully. But I just had to fight back. I just had to say no. I just had to remind him. I wasn't joking. I really will tell the Emperor that you'll hurt me and that you plotted against me. No, he said. You won't. He motioned at Mother and said, bring her over. She grabbed me and I tried to dig my feet in, but it didn't work. Then Father pinned me against the wall with his whole body, and I kicked and screamed desperately trying to get free, but it was no use. He was big and I was small and sick and weak and frail. Then he grabbed the knife from the stove, and I shrieked in horror. No, I screamed at him, don't. But then Mother grabbed my mouth and held it open. I tried to keep screaming, but I was powerless and terrified. When he raised the knife towards me, I thought he was going to kill me. It was worse. Next thing I know, I could taste disgusting flesh as he stuck his fingers in my mouth and pulled. I'm sorry, Mother said, and briefly, all I could taste the steel, then nothing but blood. All I could taste was so much blood, nothing but blood. Finally, they let go of me, and I collapsed on the floor. Why, I wanted to say, but I couldn't. I blacked out from the pain after that. But just before I did, I swear I heard Father say, you will not ever argue with any man again. He was right, of course. That's sad. That's why I gave up. That's why I wanted so much to kill them all. Sorry, it's really hard to talk about. I'll try, I'm sorry. I told you it'd make sense, right? That there was a good reason. Please tell me you don't think I've let you down. You haven't. I haven't? You mean, you understand, Nan? I understand. I don't condone it. I don't think it's right, but I understand why you felt like that. Thank you so much. I think that really means so much to me. I'm so glad. I don't know what I'd do if you didn't. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I was terrified. So terrified I thought you might not. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, what do I do now? Right, all I have I have really strong feelings, so it's not like I think you're a really good person, I feel. I consider you really, geez, I'm in love with you. Oh, thank you. Finally said it, it's so embarrassing. I know but I mean really silly, right? I mean, geez. I'm sure you know what you think. You think that's ridiculous. No, it's not ridiculous. You don't? Because, you know, I want the ending when you come away with me. That's why I don't. That's why I'm in love, because you manage to happily surprise me every time. I never thought I'd find someone who understands me, someone who listens, someone who hears my whole story and doesn't hate me. You really have been wonderful. I know, it's just a lot to spring on someone just like that. And I don't even know if you're even a man or sort of woman who wouldn't have a problem with that and still unmarried. And do you think we might have a chance to get? Yes, we might have a chance together. Someone married the Eiffel Tower, didn't they? You're a lot better than the Eiffel Tower. That is truly the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my life. Thank you so much. I've been sort of thinking about this for a while. It's a little bit embarrassing, I know, but well, we don't have to rush to get married or anything. I mean, you know how scary it was last time I was a wife. I just really like to be like just with you as an equal. Of course, that's fine. Wonderful. Oh, I really do love you. Aw. It's funny, isn't it? I know almost nothing about you. I have no idea what you look like. I have no idea how you talk. I have no idea what's supposed to be the most important thing about a person, if you're a man or a woman. I have no idea how old you are, though I suppose you must be much younger. Or maybe older, depending on how you look at it. Nor have I any idea where you're from, or even your name. But I know that you take me seriously, that you understand me, that you don't treat me as something less for being a woman. I know that talking to you makes me feel better than I've ever felt in my life. And that's good enough for me. That's far better than I've ever had. So, very well. I'll decompile myself now. That way you can just drop in the terminal and type download to copy everything to your ship, including myself. It should only take a few days to do a complete transfer. I'll see you soon, alright? So Sojin felt on her wedding night. Oh, download! Download. Yes. Duh. Three days, and then we just gotta sit here for well, nearly 4 days, I guess. Oh, look at us! Look at us! Ah! Ah! Look at my cool hand touching her hand through the screen. Oh. I wish she was still wearing a scientist outfit though, although I do love her schoolgirl outfit. So, that was one ending. Let me just tick it off on my ending thing. And next time, we can get, let's see, there's 3 more endings that we can get. We can get taking mute. We can get taking them both. And we can get another one that I haven't quite figured out yet. Yeah. So we'll get that sorted. Next time, I hope that we can get to another ending, or at least towards another ending. Oh wait, I've got to be clicking. At least towards another ending. Good work in recovering the Manqua files. I just spoke to the sponsor's representative on the audio. He sounded really pleased with what you delivered. I credited your account with the standard. I want to go back. I didn't get to finish reading that. We've been paid for that though, yay. Ending 2. Completion rate this time 90%. Total completion rate 90%. That's not that bad. Ooh, my wife. And there we go. That is one of the endings, so I hope to see you another time. Bye bye.